Hello everyone. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at delays in Verilog. And what is a delay? It is the time taken to evaluate some events. And what is the event? Okay. So let me give you an example. There are so many simulators are there in the market to implement a digital logic. For example, your Xilinx ISE or Design Compiler by Synopsys or Model Sim or Costa Sim. Okay, these are all simulators that we use to implement our digital logic. So when we write a piece of code, let's say you wrote 3 lines of code using Xilinx ISE. Okay, so your Xilinx ISE encounters the first line at 1 nanosecond, the second line at 2 nanosecond, and the third line at 3 nanosecond. Whenever the Xilinx ISE simulator encounters the first line of code at 1 nanosecond, it takes some time to evaluate or to execute this line, the first line. Then when it encounters the second line of code at 2 nanosecond, it takes some time. The same for third line. So your simulator takes some time to evaluate or to implement that particular lines of code. Okay. So all these are events. So all these lines that your simulator is going to evaluate or is going to implement, all these are called events. And all these event has time associated with it. So delays are nothing but the time taken by the simulator when it encounters a statement or encounters a event and then it executes it. For example, if you wrote y equal to a ampersand b in your simulator and the simulator encounters, let's say the simulator encounters this line of code at 1 nanosecond. But the simulator takes some time to evaluate this a ampersand b, let's say 5 nanosecond. So this is the time delay. So this is the time delay for this line of code, this line, this y equal to a and b, because all these lines of code are evaluated or executed with the help of the library given by a particular foundry. Because you might be knowing that there are if you open any Xilinx simulator, any simulator like let's say Xilinx or Design Compiler or Model Sim or Costa Sims, they have inbuilt libraries given by the foundries and with different technology, right? 10 nanometer or 32 nanometer, 28 nanometer. So this when we synthesize a Verilog code, a piece of code, we need to implement, means we need to include all these libraries, and the libraries takes time. The simulator takes time, means the libraries that is using by the simulator takes time to implement all these pieces of codes, all these Verilog codes. Okay, so this is called delays, the time taken by the simulator virtually, but actually it is the time taken by your library that is inbuilt. Okay, when it encounters and when it executes, the time between encounters and the executes a particular code or a particular line of code is called the delays. But at HDL level, we never concerns about all these delays. Okay, because we know that delays are not synthesizable, right? So as all these delays are taken care by the library that is inbuilt, so normally we do not bother about the delays while writing HDL code. See, during synthesis your tools will work out real silicon delay. The real silicon, as I mentioned here, the real silicon means your the library that has been included inside your simulator. So that is called real silicon delay. Okay, So one doesn't need to provide delay when writing HDL code. So when we are writing HDL code, normally we do not normally, but we do not provide such codes because these codes are ignored by the simulator. It won't show error, but some of the simulator it might show error. But normally, if any delay is written in a HDL code, then it is normally ignored. Okay, it is never considered actually. And if you do not provide any delay, the event would occur at 0 time step. At 0 time step means it can be at 0 nanosecond or 0 picosecond. Means if you are not mentioning your time delay, then by default it takes 0 time steps. Your simulator considers it 0 time steps. And how to assign the delay? Using this token, this hash. The hash token we normally use this we give delay. Okay, then gate delay, or it is also called propagation delay. Propagation delay is the time taken by the output to change its state after the input changes. Means suppose I have a logic here, I have a piece of logic, let's say it is a AND gate, and this is a AND, and this is my 2 input A, and this is B, and this is out. Okay, so whenever there is a changes in A or B, that is reflected to the output. Means the output will be updated. I will get the updated output, but not at the instant when the input, for example, if the input changes at 1 nanosecond, at the same instant the output is not updated. It takes some time. Okay, because these are the real gates. As I mentioned that the libraries are there and different technologies have been used. Okay, so it takes some time, let's say 5 nanosecond. So after 5 nanosecond only I can see the output. At 1 nanosecond the input changes, the input changed, but after 5 nanosecond, because this gate, this is the real logic, this is the real gate, this is the real silicon. So it takes some time to process this input data, so the output will be updated. Okay, so input changes at X, but the dependent output changes at some time later. This is called propagation delay. Okay, and this output changes means either it can be 1 to 0 or it can be 0 to 1, because all these are digital logic. So there is a transition either from 0 to 1 or there is a transition from 1 to 0. Okay, so this is what we call propagation delay. Then there are delay, rise delay, fall delay, and turn off delay. And what is rise delay? Rise delay is time taken by output to transition from 0 X Z to logic 1. 0 means logic 0, X means unknown value, this is unknown one, and Z means high impedance. And high impedance means it is not connected to anything, so it is floating. It can be 1 or it can be 0. You should remember that the Z is high impedance, means it is not connected to any network or any net or anything, so it is floating. Its value can be 1 or its value can be 0. So the time taken by all these transition, logic level low or unknown value or high impedance to 1, so this time is called rise delay. This time taken is called rise delay. Okay, and what is fall delay? Fall delay is time taken by the output to transition from 1 X Z to logic 0. If suppose your output is at X or logic high or high impedance, and if there is a transition to 0 from all these states, then this time taken by your output to fall from 1 X or Z to 0 is called fall delay. And what is the turn off delay? The time taken by your gate output to transition from 1 0 X to Z. So either logic level 0 or logic high or unknown value to, if there is a transition from all these to high impedance, then this is called turn off delay. Okay, but at HDL level we do not bother, or we do not concern with all these delays like a rise delay, fall delay, because all this delay, rise delay, fall delay, all these delays are it depends on the voltage level, or we can say the threshold voltage. Okay, so at digital level, or we normally we do not concern. Okay, and what is the syntax of all these delays? Okay, syntax is hash and number. Okay, hash is a special character for delay, and number is the value that represents the amount of time simulator delays the current statement. Okay, for example, if I write hash 5 y equal to a, means it is a delay of 5 or delay by 5, means this line is executed, it executes after 5 time period. This 5 time period can be 5 nanosecond, it can be 5 picosecond. Okay, it depends on your simulator, the simulator that we are using. So at y equal to, if I write y equal to a, means this line will be executed. If there is a changes in a, then that one is propagated to y after 5 nanosecond or 5 time step. Okay, if I write hash 10 y equal to b, means if there is a changes in b, so that one will be reflected at output side after 10 nanosecond and not at the same instant. Okay, for example, if at 0 nanosecond the b changes, so at 0 nanosecond I won't get the output, it will take 10 nanosecond for the output to be reflected at the output side. Okay, then syntax for gate delay. Okay, this is the syntax for normal delay actually, hash and how much time you want to give, so the 5, 10, 20, 30, 100. Okay, as per your wish or as per your design demands. Then the next one is syntax for gate delay, means all these delays like rise delay, these are all propagation delay. Okay, rise delay, then fall delay and turn off delay. And what is the syntax for this one? Hash, then bracket, the first one is rise time delay, then fall time delay, then turn off delay, then bracket close. Okay, so here AND A0 out A1 and out I1 and I2, this is a AND gate, and here there is no I have not mentioned any delay, so there is no hash here, so there is no delay here. Okay, here buffer hash 7 b1 out and in, here the first one is only mentioned, this rise delay. Okay, this number, this is 7 time steps, or you can say 7 nanosecond or 7 picosecond. Okay, so it is only a rise time delay, the first one is only rise time delay, this fall time delay and turn off delay has not been mentioned here. Okay, or hash 5, so it is also, this is a OR gate, this is OR gate, and you should remember this. See, after this one, and these are all predefined, right? And buff or NAND and or, these are all predefined. Okay, it is inside the library, Verilog library. Okay, so after this gate name, then hash, then this delay. Okay, then your user defined name for your predefined gate, then output, then input. You should remember actually. So how the different type of delays are being assigned to a particular gate. Okay, so this one hash 5, so it is also only rise delay. Okay, because there is no fall delay and turn off delay for this line. Then here the first one is rise delay and the second one is fall delay. This one is rise delay, then fall delay, then turn off delay. Okay, now this one is something different, 4 then colon, then 5, then colon, then 6, and see there is no comma here. Okay, there is no comma here, there is colon, there is no comma here, means this all these three are rise delay, all these three are rise delay. Okay, here I have comma is there, the first one is rise delay and the second one is your fall delay. But what are all these numbers? 4:5, 4 colon 5 colon 6. Okay, this 4 is called minimum time and 5 is called, the middle one is called typical time, and 6 is called maximum time. And what are all these things? As we know that delays cannot be same all the time, right? Because delays also varies with temperature and other variations, other parameter variations. Okay, so see, delays are not same all the time, and it varies, the delays varies with temperature, and we don't know, and at different corner of your IC the temperature may be varying. Okay, so it also depends on temperature and some other variations, some other parameter variations, so it is not same. So what this Verilog did, Verilog provides a extra level of control for each delay, and that is one of the reason this all these 4 colon 5 colon 6 and this minimum, typical and maximum, and this number are provided by the Verilog library to extra care about these all these delays. Okay, so extra level of control for each delay. So one is minimum, one is typical, and maximum. So maximum, the rise time delay can be 6, and typical value can be 5, and the minimum can be 4 if there is any kind of variation. Okay, either temperature or any kind of parameter variation. Okay, and the next one is and has 3 to out this line means, so for example IN1 is this one at 1 nanosecond, then IN2 is this is not required. Okay, it's not required. Okay, IN1 is this one, the wave for IN1, then IN2 is this one, then what will be the output? So this is a rise time delay, right? Rise time delay, this is a fall time delay. So after 3 nanosecond, this one, after this 3 nanosecond, you will get the you can see the transition at output. Okay, so it is a 0 to 1 transition because this is a AND gate, right? This is a AND gate, so 1 into 1 equal to 1. Okay, so after 3 nanosecond. And what is the fall time delay? Fall time is 1 to 0 transition. 1 to 0 transition means 1 into 1, so 1 into 0. So as this is 3 nanosecond, after 3 nanosecond and after 2 nanosecond, so after this one 2 nanosecond, I will get the output. So after 2 nanosecond means, see, this is my 3 nanosecond, and this transition is 2 nanosecond. Okay, or we can say suppose it is let's say it is 1 nanosecond, and it is, let's say it is 5 nanosecond. So what will happen? It is 1 nanosecond, so after 3 nanosecond, so after this one will be 4 nanosecond, and as it is 5 nanosecond, so this one will be 7 nanosecond, right? 5 2. Okay, so this one will be 8 because this is 1 to 5 nanosecond, so this total will be 4 nanoseconds, so 4 to 8, and this one will be after 2 nanosecond. After 2 nanosecond, it will be down, it will be there will be transition from 1 to 0. Okay, so this is 3 nanosecond for rise time, and this is 2 nanosecond for fall time. Then this is a one example for gate delay. Okay, so if you can implement the same one whatever I have written here using any simulator. So AND hash 5 and 1 D1 AB, what does this mean? Actually what it infers is A and B, this is a AND gate, so 5 nanoseconds. So the gate delay is 5 nanosecond. Okay, so after 5 nanosecond, if there is any changes in the input side, A or B changes, then the D1 will be affected, or we get the updated output at D1 at output after 5 nanosecond. Then OR hash 6 or 1 out D1C, this means this one, this infers this hardware. Okay, so the D1, if there is a changes in input, that is A or B changes, so after 5 nanosecond D1 will be updated, the output of D1 will be updated. Then after 6 nanosecond, this out that means the output of this OR gate, we can see the changes. So after 6 nanoseconds, so this 6 hash 6 means this is OR gate, this is a propagation delay for delay of this OR logic. Okay, so after 6 nanosecond, whatever changes at AND gate and whatever changes in C side can be reflected to the output of OR gate. Okay, so this is hash 5 for this line, and hash 6 this is a gate delay. Okay, this is a gate delay 5 nanosecond and gate delay of 6 nanosecond. Okay, and this is I have included the test bench result also here. I wrote this code using Model Sim. Okay, this is a test bench. If you want, you can test it, all these lines, and it is a working code. Okay, so you can see here, see after 5 nanosecond out 1, so at 0 nanosecond out 1 will be unknown value, because after 5 nanosecond only there is a changes. So after 4 nanoseconds, see, after 4 nanosecond, this buff and this NAND is changing, right? Buff and NAND is changing. So you can see the value here, 4 nanosecond. See, 4 nanosecond there is no change in this AND and OR gate, but there is a change in NAND and buff. So at 4 nanosecond you can see this out 3. Out 3 means this NAND, it is changing to 1, and this out 4 is changing to 0. It is no more X value, because this X is coming for this AND and OR output, means out 1 and out 2, because after 5 nanosecond only, or you can say after 5 time step only, it is changing. These outputs are changing, but after 4 nanosecond you can see the output, there is a changes in the output of NAND and buff. So here you can see clearly, you can see here out 3 and out 4. But after 5 nanosecond everything is changing, all the outputs are changing, means out 1 is changing, out 2 is changing, out 3 is changing, out 4 is changing. Here see, you can see out 1 is changing to 0, out 2 is changing, sorry, this is 5 nanosecond, out 1 is changing to 0, then out 2 is 0, it is showing out 2 is 0, out 3 is 1, out 4 is 4. So you can write this code on your own simulator and using Xilinx ISC, the free version, or Model Sim or Costa Sim if you have, and you will get the same result. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, then do like, comment and subscribe this channel. Okay, thank you.